Hi, welcome to the Holy Oak Tarot. My name is Liam, and today I have a pick a card reading for you. We're going to have 3 piles. So we have our Modern Witch deck with this reddish stone, pinkish stone. Then we'll go into our Waite deck with the rose quartz. And then the Rainbow Tarot deck, and that's this long guy, long stone. So yeah, feel free to pause the video now and pick a pile, or you can watch the whole thing and see what resonates with you. I read the cards as they come to me, and each deck kind of has a different feel, even though they're all kind of like in that Rider-Waite category. So it might not be necessarily what you'd hear from another reader, and that's okay. And I don't read reversals either, so you won't see those from me. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it. I feel like I'm missing something from my intro. That's okay. It'll come to me, or it won't come to me. Messages do we have for pile 1? That's too many cards. Let's do a little bit less. Yeah. Okay. I hope you are. Oh, that's the other thing that I mean to say at the beginning. So hopefully you're still watching if you skipped ahead. This is a timeless reading, so whenever it finds you is when it's meant to find you. Yeah. It's popping out. Okay. Good with that. One more, please. And for me today, recording this, it's Friday. Might not be that for you watching it, but it's Friday, so happy Friday. Hope you have a nice relaxing weekend. Okay, one more card. Okay. Alrighty, so we have the 4 of Pentacles, the Tower, the 7 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands, and the 6 of Pentacles. 4, 6, 7 Pentacles. With the Tower in there too, so there's some intensity. There's some change. 4 of Pentacles kind of feels like guarding, kind of like holding tight, it's like gotta keep my hands on all these things, make sure they don't go away. So there's definitely this energy of like holding something really close. And I mean, I think there's also an element of like, oh, you've come this far, you have all these things, not necessarily things, but you've like created this life, right? And then there's just definitely like can be a tendency to be like, oh, things are like really good, I'm gonna hold on really tight to the things that are here. And I think that there is going to be a shift for you with the Tower here. For those who picked this pile one, there's I guess the Four of Wands is like this holding tightly, and then the Tower is telling you that something is going to shift. Something's going to change. And I think there can be some power in holding, having a light touch. I've said this before, but holding lightly to the things, especially in a manifestation context. It feels like the more attachment, the more tightly you're gripping onto something, the less likely it is to move into your life, because you're acting as someone who doesn't have that thing. So there can be some real power to having a light touch, to holding loosely to these things and allowing things to flow, if you can move into that space. And the Tower is just a symbol of change. That's a constant in our lives, although the Tower brings some more upheaval. Obviously, these people are being literally thrown out of this tower. So there can definitely be a lot of intensity there, but I think that I don't necessarily have a specific, because the thing that's interesting is this is mostly pentacles in this reading, and so you would think that maybe there's a financial shakeup or something like that, but then proceeding or after the Tower, then there's a lot of pentacles as well. So I don't think you need to be worried about that. I think it could just be some type of, it could be a physical change that's unexpected. It could be a change in your environment. Maybe you are going to need to move or something like that. It doesn't feel super solid on what it is though, so I wouldn't take that exactly. Don't be looking for the thing that's going to be changing. I think the Tower is just reminding you to be open to change and welcome new opportunities. And while it may seem really hard while you're in this moment, on the other side of this, there's some really solid things. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and she's in her home. She's tending to her plants. She's got all of the, she's very resourced. She has her needs met, and she's in this sweet little place. The Nine of Wands comes and shows you a little bit that maybe you are holding to I think a little bit that maybe you're holding on to some things that you could let go of. I always think of this person as they're guarding all these wands, but there's no one around that's there to harm them, but they have been harmed obviously in the past, and so there's kind of this tendency to want to guard these things that you have and keep them close, which is kind of what the Four of Pentacles is saying too. So I really think that what the Tower is going to shake up for you is this tendency you're having to really hold tightly to things that I think on the other side of holding tightly, there could be this really these really beautiful things that you wouldn't have expected, because you're expecting everything to come in this specific form and be this specific way, and you've told yourself that it's going to look XYZ way, and you've held so tightly onto that vision that you haven't allowed possibilities that you couldn't even expect or you wouldn't even think of. You haven't allowed those things in because you've been gripping so tightly onto this other piece. And with the Six of Pentacles also, that's that's showing that you're resourced enough to share those resources, you know. So yeah, it feels like if I were to kind of give it like a little tight summary, if I can, um, I would say that you are you're kind of like you've been in this place that's like was something you were after for a really long time, and now that you're here, maybe things have kind of shifted a little bit and you're like, oh, maybe this doesn't fit as well, but you wanted it for so long that you're just holding on to it so tightly, right? Because you're like, oh, this is the thing I wanted, this is exactly how I wanted my life to look. And now that you've been in it, your system is like, okay, let's change things up, let's switch things around. And you're like, no, this is really what I wanted. This is what I wanted for 10 years and whatever, you know? And now the tower is coming along and saying, well, wait a minute, what other possibilities could there be? How could your life be more? What are things you haven't even dreamed of that could come to you, you know? And that's going to be a big shakeup. And then on the other side of it, we have, some like beautiful blessings. You know, you're going to be really resourced. You're going to have a cool place to stay. You're going to be able to have enough resources to share them. And you will still sort of be a little bit in this energy of like, well, wait a minute. And it'll take a minute to move past that, I think. But I think you're headed in like a cool direction. I think that there's going to be obviously some challenges along the way. Do I want to do this? Sure. So let's see what your spirit animal card is. Give us some insights. Ant spirit, time to collaborate. Interesting. That doesn't necessarily feel like it goes with all of these things, but maybe it does. Maybe there's like an opportunity. Maybe that's the opportunity that you weren't expecting, is something that comes with someone else. But that's one also. First one, let's just see what this says. When an ant spirit comes to visit, it's to celebrate the benefits of working in partnership with others as a part of a community or tribe. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership, the one you have with Spirit. Your interactions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focus on co-creating your reality with others and with Spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline, like meditation, to keep you on track as you build the life you desire. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful, as it's unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. The other message Ant Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it, whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you. Everything is working to support you right now. So yeah, I think that does kind of go with this, especially with the Six of Pentacles and like being able to use your resources to assist others. That's like can be a big part of being in a community, or is a big part of being in community. Cool, pile one, there you have it. All right, next. Sorry, I'm having like a little throat thing happening to me. This is our rose quartz. I've been rewatching the show, Steven Universe. If anyone likes that, it's so good. But rose quartz, that's what makes me think of that show. That's his name and his gem. not sing the theme song because that's what's popping up in my head right now. That's funny. All right, pile 2. What energies do we have? Pile 2. Energies, messages do we have? That's okay. Any more cards? All right, just go with this one. The Sun, the Emperor, Ace of Swords, Page of Wands, Justice. Interesting. I don't get that Justice card very often. I just don't get any of these cards very often, to be honest with you. The Sun. Feels like a very positive card. Lots of like new life, new beginnings. Growth. Being re-energized. I think it like bodes well on new beginnings, like if you're starting a new relationship, a new job, something like that. The Sun is really just being like, okay, like you're solid, you're on the right track here. And with the Emperor we have definitely like daddy energy. It's definitely like the Emperor's very like, okay, if you haven't, you will be like moving into a space where like you're really solid in the like regular world, he kind of like embodies all of that. So like career and like business, just like regular day-to-day stuff. It could even just be like even things as trivial as like just like getting regular day-to-day stuff done, like house things and yard and whatever. I think the Emperor's like, you got it, like you're doing the thing. And if you're not currently feeling that way, you're moving into this energy of doing the thing, especially with the Sun and the Emperor. It's like, you got it, you're like, you're on the right track. And you're like moving forward, you're progressing in, I was gonna say an optimal way, but that kind of seems messed up. It's more so like, if your desire is to like get things done, like you're gonna be doing that. That's definitely what the Emperor is telling. With the Ace of Swords here too as well. Ace of Swords is like aces are like pure elementals, so like beginnings, and having like the air energy, which is like can be like intellect. So there could definitely this could be like schooling or work related. It's maybe feeling like some sort of schooling. Law school is what I'm thinking, only because of justice. What else could it be? Yeah, maybe you're kind of like deciding whether to make a career change or start a new schooling path. And we definitely have, this is definitely telling you to go for it, right? With the Sun, the Emperor, Ace of Swords, beginning an intellectual path, beginning an intellectual journey. And Page of Wands, that's also like that beginner energy, but I think Page of Wands would be encouraging you. It's fire, that's action, would be to start. Fire could also be relationships, so it could be encouraging you to like begin the thing, and then also to um, um, and then also to like lean on your the relationships that you have that you've built, and those will assist you in this journey on this path. And then with justice, specifically with all these other cards, this is really making me think that it is some sort of like career shift into something justice related. So that could be like going to law school, or being some sort of like something in a community setting that like helps people in that kind of like more legal way. This feels a little bit hyper specific for that. Yeah. That's kind of an interesting one. I don't usually get ones that are like so like, hey, if you're wanting to go to law school, you should go to law school. Or like if you're wanting to make that career change, then the cards are definitely like on your side. So if that's something you've been considering, definitely go for it. Turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, I think especially depending how old you are, there can also be like a thing where it's like, well, I can't do that, I'm like too old to start something, to start over. But you're definitely not, and like it's okay to take things slow, and the experiences you have already, the life experiences you've had, will allow you to be better at what you do, because of because you're you, and because of the life experiences you've had, and the way that can the way that can like go into the work you want to do, and the way you want to help people. So go for it. You got this emperor daddy on your side. And the sun for sure is telling you like it's gonna work out. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Hopefully that finds whoever that's for. And then let's move on to our Rainbow Tarot. It's this little long rock. What energy messages do we have for pile 3? What guidance messages, energies do we have for pile 3? That's too many. Just get a couple more, please. Whoa. Shot out of there. All right. 8 of Wands. 4 of Cups. 6 of Swords. Ace of Swords. Again. And the Wheel of Fortune. What is this saying? Well, the 8 of Wands, especially in this deck, is always like, oh, there's too many things coming at me. Like, this is you, is this little guy. And There's like, oh, there's so many wands coming at me. Why are there so many things coming at me? And then the Four of Cups is very much like, why are you giving me another cup? But it's kind of more like annoyed about it. Where this one's a little bit like, oh, why is this happening? So there seems to be a little bit of like, yeah, a little bit like, oh, why are all these responsibilities coming at me? And then sort of like okay, I'm super over this, like quit giving me things. And then the Six of Swords is like caring too much, like you got a full boat of swords that you're trying to get across this river, and it feels a little bit heavy. This card actually doesn't feel as heavy as some of the other ways this card is depicted in different decks, because this sun is kind of like, I don't know if you can see it. It doesn't necessarily, it looks like it's kind of like, like that a little bit. And so there's not quite the heaviness of the Six of Swords in this. It just does feel like it's like, okay, we're carrying a lot. And yeah, I think that, you're carrying a lot. And then with the Ace of Swords here, kind of after these cards, I think there's maybe some encouragement to, lean into that. I usually don't say this, but like to lean into like the head a little bit, to lean into like your strategic logic brain a little bit, to like kind of sort these things out. That's not normally advice I would give, because I'm someone who's like in my head all the time, and I'm always like, you gotta be more in your heart. But there does feel like there's a little bit of like, okay, there's kind of like all of these things coming at you, and there needs to be a little bit of like strategizing to kind of like disperse them. And it feels like the things coming at you are like, like workable things. So maybe there's like a business matter you have to tend to. Maybe there's like some a friend that's in need. Maybe you have like household things that need to be tended to. Maybe there's like, maybe you're moving or something like that. There's a lot of like 3D reality things that are coming at you and are needing to get completed. And I think the cards are sort of reminding you here with Ace of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune is there's a little bit of like, okay, figure out the things you can do, because you need to do something. Otherwise, like, it's gonna feel like it just keeps coming at you and coming at you, coming at you. So figure out something you can solve and solve it. And then I think too with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like whatever it lands on, do that thing. And then I think you can give yourself permission to release the rest for a minute, I think. Do I want to say release the rest? That doesn't feel true, actually. Let's see. Can we get some clarity here? Any additional messages on these other cards? Okay. We got Two of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. So this is definitely like Two of Pentacles is like juggling things, right? So you're like juggling all these different things. The Knight of Swords is telling you to like rush in and just go for it and do the thing. And then I think the Queen of Pentacles is kind of a little bit of an encouragement of like, um, um, I think like it's, yeah, it feels like with the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Pentacles, there's a little bit of like, um, this is feeling very not clear, so we'll see how this goes. But there's a sense of like, um, there's a sense of like, okay, so you have all these things coming at you. The swords are like, okay, things that you can like brain your way into, the things you can just do with your brain, do those things, get those things done. The things that are like strategic, analytical, whatever have you. Tackle those things. And then the Wheel of Fortune is telling you to kind of like, with the rest of the things that you feel are coming at you, kind of spin the wheel, you know, see what happens, see what comes next. Leave it up to fate ultimately. And then whatever the thing is, maybe it's helping a friend, maybe it's whatever, tend that very, very closely. And then with that, move into the heart space. So, yeah. That's interesting. These are some funky readings I'm getting today. Not funky in a bad way, just like not exactly the way I normally read. But it's cool. No, it's cool. I feel like I'm expanding. Hopefully, I'm reaching different people. And yeah, there's not a lot of like tons of clarity on this one. I think you're going through a lot, obviously, juggling a lot of different things. And I think that there's a sense of like, I mean, I think ultimately, if you're being honest with yourself, you probably know which things are things you can tackle. And then, yeah, I think with the other things, you need to like tend to them in a different way, you know. If that, hopefully that lands a bit. Let's do an animal spirit, just funsies. Sometimes they really match, sometimes not so much. I just need to get a different, I need to get electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. 24, bring your ideas to life. Yeah, maybe that's what's coming at you, is like your own things. The best advice if someone has given me regarding ideas, because I'm a writer, and I've written one novel, and then I haven't written another one since then. I started one, and I was working on it, and I started talking to other people about my idea, and then when I sat down to write again, I just like couldn't find the story anymore. So the advice that was given to me, and the advice that I would give you if you're trying to bring your ideas to life, is to keep them to yourself. keep it locked down until it's almost done, you know. Because I think there can be this thing when you tell someone about it, you sort of like get the dopamine hit of having like told someone, and you kind of get that reward a little bit of like, oh, good idea, you know. I think there's that. I also think that sometimes talking about something too soon, someone will be like, well, what about, why is that character doing this thing or whatever, and then you're like, I wasn't ready for feedback, you know. So yeah, pile 3, if you're trying to bring some ideas to life, carry them with you until they're almost done and ready to be shown to the world. That would be my advice for sure. All right, well, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching the video. Give it a like if you liked it. Leave a comment, feedback, ideas, not ideas, more so like, meaning like, if you're like, oh, I would love a career one or a love one, if that's super interesting to you, let me know and I'll try and do that. And if you like the videos, subscribe. That'd be great. If you want to book a one-on-one reading, my email is in the description. You can send me an email or a DM on Instagram. And yeah, love to hear from you. Catch you in the next one.